Once again, today's top stories. London has endured another night of German bombing. Most damage was concentrated in the East End.
I don't know you, nor do I want to. Leave me or I shall summon a steward. If you want to be a bore, I suggest you travel steerage. Good evening. Tell me, do you approve of women who smoke? You're witty. Most men take their indulgences one at a time. Combine them, like women with tobacco, and they pitch fits. Pity. Andrew and I wintered in Cairo. We returned via Paris, where we ran into all sorts of people, including that charming German Colonel Zeitel. He had a great interest in rare books. It will be wonderful to be home. No dust storms, no lepers. Mr. Trask predicts a banner year for me. Trask? A brilliant seer. Brilliant! I consult him about business decisions, and he's never steered me wrong. He instructs me to travel on only 2 ships, the Titanic and the Lusitania. I must stop our chat here. I've other concerns. My maid, she's left us. Yes, well, good night.
Good evening, mon ami. Buick Riviera welcomes you to the tables. You look familiar. We make a meeting before? Deauville? The casino at Monaco? New Mexico. I lived there once, in Diamondback. Such a town. So, have we met? C'est vrai. Then we shall use my special cards. You are the winner. Magnifique. You like to play again? Bonsoir.
Daisy Cashmore, surely you remember. Oh, you are naughty thing. Don't think I didn't know you'd snuck on at Cherbourg. Smethels told me all about it. The old boy's always dripping with news. Heard about Lord and Lady Lambeth. Ruined utterly. Scarcely enough left for appearances, I'm told. I always liked Georgia. Married Charles for his name and his fortune, sensible girl. But she's made her nest. Now she must live in it. Well, what do we think? Gorgeous, isn't it? Everyone's raving, gushing. The Titanic couldn't be more fabulous. And the sailing couldn't have been more convenient. Everyone's here. The Astors, the George Wideners, the Countess of Ross, such a wonderful girl. The Strausses, I saw them on D-deck tonight. The Ryersons, the Henry Harpers. I could just go on and on. And the ship's so very advanced. I was just saying to my dear friends, the Carters, they're bringing back a motor car, do you believe, in the cargo hold. Bill Carter checks it daily. Really, every day. He keeps the keys with the purser. And of course they let them. The Carters are fantastically rich. Lucille doesn't understand the attraction at all. With men and machines, I tell her, we girls play second fiddle. Well, my dear, I have a little favor, a tiny, tiny, tiny one. Tonight at dinner, a man I don't know was making eyes at me. Be an absolute darling and find out who he is. Look him up in the passenger list. All I know are his initials, GQC. The list's someplace. Find it. I'll wait right here. Ta!
Still wondering? This ship holds a strange fascination for you. Most peculiar. I have a message from a young German gentleman by the name of Haderlitz. He would like to meet you in the squash court. They've opened it for him. Highly irregular, I must say, especially for fencing. If memory serves me, there is an entrance to the squash courts on D-deck. Yes, apparently he does not favor racket sports. Surely he is. The percentage of passengers demanding the courts late on a Sunday night is small. Minuscule, actually. Meanwhile, I shall inform the young German gentleman that you will meet him presently.
Did you get it? Get his name? No, you haven't found a passenger list. Try the purser's office, he'll have one.
Yes, can I help you? I can check valuables, store cargo, list passengers, etc. Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number. Let me check. Aha, Mr. George Quincy Clifford, A27. I live to serve. Glad to be of service. Good night.
Did you get it? Get his name? Clifford. Clifford. Never heard of him. You don't suppose he's rich, do you? You're an angel. And I've news for you, too. While you were gone, Andrew Conkling's been asking for you. Yes, Conkling, the steel baron. God knows what he's been doing in Europe, buying it probably. And where was I? Oh yes, Andrew Conkling asked me to pass along this. You know his wife Beatrix, the designer? Such an eye! Her clothes preserve the bust line. Couldn't be more flattering. Keeps the eye moving. Much nicer than Worth's. They're friends with Captain Smith. Smith! So handsome, so dashing. White Star's best officer, or was. He's retiring after this voyage. Couldn't be more tragic. My dear, you've blanched. Bad news? Certainly, I must... It's Mrs. Burbank! Consuelo!
I'm Conkling. Good of you to come. I trust you're finding the accommodation satisfactory? You're welcome. White Star's anxious for everyone to be as comfortable as possible, particularly on the maiden voyage. Sorry to seem mysterious. You must understand someone in my position, an investor in this ship, needs discretion. You're under no obligation, of course. I have a slight problem. You may be able to help. A servant has stolen an important business document from me, and I must recover it. A few years ago, my wife Beatrix hired a young Irish girl as maid in our London house. We treated her well. 2 weeks ago, she up and left without notice, taking a certain letter with her. I'd given up all hope of recovering it, until my wife spotted her this morning on the third-class promenade. Needless to say, I checked with the purser. She'd been scheduled to sail on the Philadelphia. But those passengers were transferred on board the Titanic because of a coal strike. Government officials, friends of mine, told me a bureau agent was on board. I found you through Mrs. Cashmore. A preposterous woman, but she does have an eye for accomplishment. Look, will you help me? You will be rewarded handsomely. Her name is Shayla Hacker. She's 20 or thereabouts. I was her benefactor, one might say. Confidential business matters. Conkling Steel provides steel for ships. This ship, for example. If the contents of the letter were publicized, our competitors would profit greatly. Yes. This puts me in a difficult situation. This young woman, she could cause considerable damage to me, to my reputation if she goes to the newspapers. I've gotten word to her to meet on the poop deck. Go in my place. Tell her there'll be no trouble if she returns the letter. Afterwards, report to me in our suite, B59. Her name is Shayla Hacker. Good night.
What did I tell you, Shay? I knew he'd not come in person.
Hush, Jack, hush. Conklin, he did send you, didn't he?
I told you, it's a trick. I knew Conklin wouldn't come. He sent one of his cronies instead. I'm her brother, and Conklin. Because of him, Shayla's had to leave everything and everyone she knows.
Jack, don't.
That son of a bitch. She was his maid and all the time violating it.
Hush, Jack. I'll have no more of it. Go on, Jack, say it.
You tell Conklin we have his letter, and he'll not be seeing it till he coughs up a tidy sum, too. 5,000, do you hear? Dollars. Enough to get her started right in America. And if he moves a hand against us, I'll make sure the newspapers get the letter and print it. So tell Conklin. 5,000. Measured against what he has, it's a bloody bargain.
Meet us here again. At 1 tonight.
$5,000. Then he'll get his damn letter. Agreed?
We'll be waiting for you.
Yes, can I help you? A painting, is it? I'll put this in the safe. Very good, then.
I'm Colonel Zeitel, with the German Imperial Army. What brings you out so late on Sunday night? I am looking for something as well. Willie Von Haderlitz has been most irresponsible. He has disobeyed me and misplaced a favorite painting, one destined for the German embassy. A faux pas of the first magnitude. No, but he will find it most electrifying, I assure you. For someone with insomnia, you ask quite a lot of questions. What did you say your profession was? As I have observed, stay away from German business. Germany wants land, industries, and material, and we will fight to get it. Britain and America will try to stop this, but we will know your plans. And if there's war, Germany will win. But enough politics. This has been such a civilized voyage so far. Let us meet tomorrow in the cafe, yes? The band? They play Strauss so well. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for coming. I do not meet so many people on the Titanic. It is a pity. I like the English. I wish I knew more of them. Now you have the opportunity of fencing with me. 3-time champion of my university. You are also an excellent athlete, yes? Colonel Zeitel believes it so. The Colonel is very seldom confused about anything. You will play. If you win, perhaps I relate to you some stories. En garde. Allons, allons. Et là. Allons-y, allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y, allons. Et là. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Touchez. You are the loser. How unfortunate. The Titanic, how quickly she is moving. The engines are loud here. We are nearing the Grand Banks. The Vikings thought this part of the North Atlantic cursed. Even modern sailors call it the Devil's Hole, a place of deadly surprises. Things aren't always what they seem, yes? Like me, for example. I am German, but I am also a friend to others. Perhaps even the English. Another match? Afterwards we can tell more tales. Another match? En garde. Allons. Allez. Ach, verdammt. Allons. Ach, verdammt. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons, allons. You are a great athlete. You do? Remember, only one thing is certain, and the rest is lies. It is a quote from an old book I had the recent opportunity to read. But I tell you more. I am associate professor at the University of Vienna. I document the mythos, the legends of mankind. I'm on my way to New Mexico to study the Yoni Indians under Dr. van der Plaars. I am interested in what Dr. Freud calls the unconscious mind, what happens below the surface of experience. Tell me, what frightens you more, fire or ice? The ancient Aryans believed man would see 4 ages. According to them, this is now the Wolf Age, an age that ends with ice. Perhaps we of science might learn from it. They say the ice is heavy in the Labrador Current this year. Why do you assume he is interested in paintings? Yes, art. That is what I meant. And you are mistaken. Colonel Seidel cares little for art, unlike his friend Herr Barbicon. I notice he likes old Vienna, for he has many pictures of the city. If the fire comes, my friends will favor the English over Germany. Another match? Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Ah, verdammt. Allez. Et là. Allez. Ah, verdammt. Allons. Ah, verdammt. You fence well? Take this in friendship. May it bring you luck. A thing I fear we shall all need. But if anything should happen to me, I trust you will know what to do. Very good. You have proven yourself, and I must confide in you. Colonel Seidel suspects I value my friends more than Germany. He's right. Another match? Let us meet later. I will tell you more. For now, keep the ring. I bid you good night.
What did our young Mr. Haderlitz want? Their partnership appears to be dissolving. Who else knows young Haderlitz? Talk to anyone who may have seen him. Haderlitz's ring. Maybe Trask can tell you more about it. I'll see if I can dig something up on him. Finally, you're on the right trail. Follow those leads.
I say, how are you getting on?
Getting on? We use gangplanks, if I remember.
Quick as a cow, she is. Seen Guggenheim about?
Such a gentleman, extremely attentive to the ladies.
Especially his mistress. They say he stashed her on board somewhere.
Really, Henry? Not Mr. Guggenheim?
The Titanic's not a damned rectory, you know.
But Henry...
Quite the randy old goat from what I hear.
My goodness, I've forgotten completely. I have a message for you. Mr. Trask in D2 said you were to meet him where honor and glory crown time. Where honor and glory crown time? What do you think he meant? Good night.
You've arrived. I was expecting you. Don't think we've met. I'm Leyland Sachem Trask, metaphysical scribe and evangelist for the supernatural. I was just holding court with these two ladies. Honor and glory. Crowning time. They say 100 wood carvers worked on the Titanic. Such effort. Now in such danger. Yes, for the ship, and for a mutual acquaintance. I visited with a very nice woman in second class, a Mrs. Hart. Won't sleep a wink at night, she says, because something dreadful is about to happen. She believes to call this ship unsinkable flies in the face of God, and such arrogance will be punished. She should join the Bureau. See your friend, Willie Von Haderlitz. He is in very great danger. The ring. Yes, did you notice the Russian characters on the inside band? Willie has a hidden life. There's a girl, a pretty girl. Haderlitz knows her. Show her the ring. She'll help you. Good luck. Good night.
To meet you earlier, however, my wife and I were calling on the Astors. Madeline's pregnant. Beatrix was thrilled. We have no children. I see. It's a ransom. May I present Mrs. Conkling?
You should pitch the ungrateful girl overboard. Your clothes, French cut. Quite fetching. I forgot to tell you when we first met.
Beatrix is on her way to California. She's got a new project in... Where is it, dear?
A cow town, someplace called Los Angeles. I'm doing up a little resort there. It's called the Beverly Hills Hotel. So, where is the Irish tart? Dreaming of her newfound riches?
We were just talking about that, darling.
My husband and myself extended every courtesy, showed every kindness to Shayla. We've no children. Shayla became quite dear to us. So her theft hurt us all the more for the trust we placed in her. Don't fail us. Now, excuse me. I must retire. I have a frightful headache. It was a pleasure. Good night. Andrew?
My wife felt strongly about Shayla. As I've told you, we had no children of our own. Look, you must get that letter. Don't wait until tomorrow. See if you can speak to Shayla directly, without her brother. She's in the third-class cabins forward, on F deck, number 59. Good night. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
I'm the lift attendant, and you'll not find one better at taking you where you want to go. Where to? I'm the man to ask. Take my lift to D deck. Take the doors beneath the stairs. Go down one flight to E deck. You'll see the signs to Scotland Road. Turn right and head forward down Scotland Road. Take the stairs down to third class. Where do you need to go? Suit yourself. Good night.
A fine night to be indoors, cold as the dickens outside. Cold but clear. Clear as a bell, and the stars, oh, you should see 1,000,000 stars in God's firmament. A congregation of light. The name's Trout, the Reverend Edgar Trout. I'm returning from a mission in Africa, to Sunapee, New Hampshire, where I live. Emily, my wife, she's dead. Thank you. We had looked forward to this journey. But she died at Port Said. Though it was Nyasaland that killed her, the doctors, you know, never did find all the parasites. I have seen a first-class passenger, a Mr. Haderlitz, among the steerage class. He's been gambling with the crew and worse. I followed him into third class, on F deck, where he visited the room of an unchaperoned young woman. I will speak to the authorities. Such behavior, it smacks of socialism and unrest. I was wondering, perhaps you'd care to make a donation to our mission in Nyasaland. Thank you so much. I will call on you tomorrow. Good evening.
Jack, is that you? I'll be right out. I don't want to wake the baby. Oh. But we were meeting later. Where's Jack? Please, I don't want no trouble. I didn't know the letter was so dear. I just wanted to take something, anything that looked valuable. For the baby. It was Jack who read it. Saw it was bad for Mr. Conkling. He said the bit about selling bad steel would ruin him if it was to get out in the papers. Anyway, Jack, he says Mr. Conkling got the letter from an engineer up at the mill. Said the mill's been making bad steel. High in sulfur is what he called it. The steel's no good, and they put it in the Titanic. It'd be a scandal if it got out. That's why Mr. Conkling wants the letter back. But Jack, he says Conkling'll have to pay us to get it. $5,000. Mrs. Conkling's probably behind it. All she cares about is a fine name and pots of cash. And a baby. But she won't get Eddie. No, she won't. And if she tries, I'll ruin her. Make her poor as me. My baby, Eddie. He's the only reason I stood them last month at the Conklings. I knew Mr. Conkling weren't going to leave his missus. I was only a parlour maid, but I didn't care. I was happy to have his baby. Him and Mrs. Conkling, I thought they was so kind, until I found out. That Mrs. Conkling was going to steal my baby for her own. Once I had it, she would fire me and take Eddie for herself. She can't have her own babies. So they used me to get one, to get Eddie. When I found out that was her plan, I left. I didn't know the letter was anything. I thought it might hold £1 or £2. Oh, that's Eddie. Bye. Don't forget about our meeting.
Young Mr. Haderlitz want? I'll see if I can dig something up on him. Their partnership appears to be dissolving. Who else knows young Haderlitz? Talk to anyone who may have seen him. Haderlitz's ring. Maybe Trask can tell you more about it. Finally, you're on the right trail. Follow those leads.
Yes, can I help you? As purser, I arrange dinner reservations, rent deck chairs, the usual shipboard duties. Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number. Mrs. Limehouse and her daughter Clarice are in cabin D19. I live to serve. That's all then, is it? Good.
Yes? You want something? It's Willie's ring. Willie, what's happened? Something bad, hasn't it? Something to Willie. He told me if I ever received this ring, I was to know that whoever gave it to me was a friend, and to tell them about the notebook, that they should find it. Willie's hidden a notebook on board, that's all I know. Now what about Willie? Is he hurt? Oh, he told me jokes. Bad ones, but he made me laugh. Not like Mama's friends. Mama, she doesn't like Germans, unless they've a title to their name. But I like Willie. A lot. May I have it? The ring? Yes. Yes, of course you need it. Please. Willie's in trouble. Please help him if you can.
Do you have the painting? Get it and bring it to me.
Yes, can I help you? What can I do for you? Thank you. I shall return with your valuables in a moment. Here you are. By the way, Miss Pringle left word that you were to meet her immediately in cabin F-34. We really don't condone this sort of thing, not on an English ship.
Quickly, there's not much time. Willie Haderlitz is dead, electrocuted in the Turkish bath. I heard one of the officers talking about it. This may not have been an accident. Apparently, someone wants that painting badly enough to kill for it. Do you have it? Smashing. Splendid job. Look here, on the back. It's a plan for Allied troop deployment in France. If Germany ever invaded, they'd have destroyed us. No wonder Haderlitz was killed. Well, Berlin won't get this now. Leave the painting with the purser. He'll keep it with the Rubaiyat. Young Haderlitz, a Tsarist spy? It's beginning to become clear. Quite possibly. We need more information about the murder. A notebook. Zeitel's previous mission was aiding a band of Russian revolutionaries called Bolsheviks who want to overthrow the Tsar. The Germans would like nothing better than to see chaos in Russia. I'll bet that notebook's got names of Russian radicals. Such a list would be very important to the Okhrana, the Russian secret police. With it, they'd root out the Bolshevik ringleaders and eliminate a threat to the Tsar, which would certainly help the rest of us. If Haderlitz was murdered, you'll need protection. Here, this pen releases a single burst of knockout gas when opened. Find that notebook. It could be vitally important. And give that painting to the purser. Go investigate the situation at the Turkish bath. Move.
Yes, can I help you? A painting, is it? I'll put this in the safe. Glad to be of service.
Most regrettable. Most regrettable indeed. The young German gentleman, dead. In the electric bath. Quite unanticipated. He was alive. Most vocally, too, just a few hours before, arguing with someone on B deck. The gentleman's voice was unfamiliar. About a painting. He'd misplaced it. And the other gentleman wanted to know where it was. Yes, I believe Dr. O'Loughlin is waiting to move him, so as not to alarm the other passengers. It is, I must warn you, a most unpleasant sight. Very good. This is most irregular. Most irregular indeed.
What have you heard? Anything? Tell me. A passenger, a young German, gone and dropped dead on us in the electric baths. Dr. O'Loughlin's there now. This was just a simple accident. Ismay is going to raise hell when he hears, and I thought this would be an easy trip. Yes, but be careful what you send. We don't need any scandals. Be my guest. Mind you, it's not pretty. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Can you feel it? The air has changed. It's clammy, cold, like the ice caves in the Eiger. But you're not here about climatology. What do you want? Certainly. A passage from the Rubaiyat. Many knots unravel could mean a rope. Complete the rest of the verse and you'll find your answer. Good luck. I don't think his death was an accident. He has double-crossed the Colonel. That may help you. The Titanic was never christened. Very bad luck for a ship. They say that when building her, a worker was entombed in the hull. And though we've 2,000 on board, the Titanic is only half full. The world's wealthiest men, Henry Clay Frick, J.P. Morgan, the Vanderbilts, canceled the trip. They know when to listen to their gut. The vibrations of the astral plane are quite strong. Whatever happens will be quite interesting. Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
Christ almighty wonder! You has a face ache, ain't you? Running the ship, poking your nose into everyone's business. Just who do you take me for now? One of those la-di-da millionaires up top? Jack Hacker keeps his word, honors his promises. When I saw you coming, I says to myself, they'll be wanting to know about him. The foreign gentleman, German I suspect, a remedy nervous type he was too. Give me a bob and told me to tell whoever asked to repeat a phrase word for word. You want to hear it now? But still the vine her ancient ruby yields, and still a garden by the water blows. Yeah, that's it. Here, he wrote it down. But still the vine her ancient ruby yields, and still a garden by the water blows. What's it mean anyway? Some rich man's game you play? You can have it. Just tell Conklin we want the money tonight.
What now? Another clue? Aha! The rubaiyat again! But still the vine her ancient ruby yields. What's red and old? Still a garden by the water blows. Still a garden by the water blows. We're on the water, obviously. And a garden means plants. Where's there a profusion of greenery on board? Figure it out. Goodbye. I'll be here if you need me.
More clues? What is this becoming? A scavenger hunt at a country house party? Remember, the important thing's the notebook. Find it.
God has moved his mighty hand against the wicked. Gambling, lewdness, and a mixing of the classes are repaid with fire. You have heard the news? Young Haderlitz has gone to meet his maker. Or someone else, eh? We can only speculate, can't we? They say the electric bath has never malfunctioned before. Believe me, it wasn't the voltage, but the cleansing work of the Lord. Take this card, a prayer card, from my own collection. I'm looking forward to talking with you about the mission. God needs your help. Thank you so much. I will call on you tomorrow. Good evening.
Meeting you again.
Snooping about the decks again? What fun.
Oh, Henry, snooping. Really? Such dreadful taste.
Reminds me of that chap Burns, that photographer who took pictures of the ship.
You should look him up. He's on sea deck. He has such a lovely wife, too.
I say it's late. Must run. Goodbye.
Yes, can I help you? As purser, I arrange dinner reservations, rent deck chairs, the usual shipboard duties. Have you a name? If you do, I can tell you their cabin number. Her ladyship's in cabin B70. I live to serve. That's all then, is it?
Come. Charles received a telegram from the solicitors. Our estate's to be sold off. He asked about the necklace I gave you. I told him I left it with a purser. Don't say anything to him or Sasha. Not him and his group of... Oh, there's much more to tell you. Can you meet me in my stateroom? I'm in B70. It's Charles' custom to go for a drink in the smoking room. When he does, visit me. Enter. I wasn't sure you'd come. First, I want to know how you fared these last years. Rather well from the looks of you. I'm glad to see you. You're the only person I can trust. Please promise me you'll help. You always were there when I needed you. Now, with my life a horrible mess. When Charles discovered my affair with Sasha, he was quite calm. But I know him, you see. His revenge is taking the necklace, leaving me with nothing. And Sasha, I'd never trust him again. Don't you see? They're looking for guns, for bombs. Sasha's friends, his gallery was their London base. They were rough men, foreign. Sasha told me they were part of a Balkan aid society. Stupid girl that I was, I believed him. But then I found out. These people, they... Charles!
Please, Georgia, continue. Was it my title or my income you found so desirable? I was never sure. Now that both assets are depleted, why don't you go to Sasha? Maybe he can help, as he's done before.
Ignore him. I see the smoking room's had its usual effect.
Idle gossip, apparently.
You see his attitude? Please, go.
Since she obviously can't depend on me. Here, take the chill out of the air. Thank you for seeing after my wife. Now I think it best you leave the happy couple, drowning in their happiness. Good night.
Remember, I need your help.
You may have heard I am in financial straits. I've borrowed money from Andrew Conkling, money that he is now demanding I pay back. I've none to give. Poverty should remain the domain of the virtuous. I've no taste for it. Georgia, afraid of me? Well, that would be a reaction at least. We no longer evoke emotion in each other. We're a husband and wife in name only. To tell you. No, I shall fix things first. And without Georgia. Another drink? Another whiskey for, Hope you don't mind if I do. Now, you, want to know some secrets. Thank you, bartender. I'll tell you one. George's diamond necklace. It's a fake. The one on her neck, leastways. I gave the real necklace to Sasha. It's in his cabin for safekeeping. When he gets to New York, he'll sell it, quickly and quietly, for a 20% commission. I'll pay off my debts to Conkling, put Georgia away, sail back to England free and clear. She's unstable, as you know, so I'm placing her in a sanatorium. An easy thing to do, given her emotional history. The law favors the husband in these matters. She can do nothing about it. God forbid the suffragettes really do win women the vote. They'll never know their place again. Because I threatened to tell Scotland Yard about his Serbian Aid Society, and because Sasha's a greedy bastard, he'd betray his love for 20%. And Georgia thinks she's outsmarted me. No, she's got a fake about her neck and doesn't know. Another? Good night, then. You'll sleep well. The whiskey and the sea are both smooth for a change.
Just see into the electric. The fuse box there. She said we've had no time to check her wiring. Adek's been complaining about the lights all night. We'll get her straightened right out. That is if I can find my screwdriver. Wager I forgot it below. Ta now. Be right back.
Good of you to call, but it's late. Good night.